everyone, it's Shel C from PaperOcotilloStudio. Welcome to Monday. Today I decided that I should get up off my tail, stop watching television, and go into my studio and do some art. Haven't been feeling it. Art is so related to emotions and stress and all that type of stuff is all wound up together. And for the last several days, all I've wanted to do pretty much except for the things I have to do, is to sit and drink tea and watch television. So that's what I've been doing. But I know I need to get up, get moving, do some stuff. So this morning I went into the studio and decided to work in my Serenity junk journal. This journal is literally made out of junk. It's junk. You can tell it's junk mail, just pieces of old printed out stuff off my desk, and I made it into a handmade journal. If you would like to learn how to make a journal and sew it together, I have a video for you. Actually, I have several videos for you of different ways of binding journals, but this one is a true junk journal. So I wanted to play around with our theme for this month in Art Joy of Sharing. You know, Peg Robinson and I have a group, and it's all about sharing your art, and we have challenges and themes every month. And this month, the month of April, is about using creative lettering in your art. So that would be about ways to use words or poems or your handwriting or other ways to use lettering in any type of your art you're doing. And so, of course, I want to feature that on my channel this month. I'm not in love with writing with my own handwriting. I find it annoying, but if I think about it and I think that it's really just drawing or illustration, if you think about writing and making words and letters in that way, that you are illustrating and not just, using your crappy handwriting, like is how I think of it, then you can kind of get around that block. If you're really great at doing this, or if you have been practicing or you've been making something interesting, please share it by using the hashtag AJOS Creative Lettering. You can also come and do our step-by-step challenge in the Art Joy of Sharing group on Facebook. And you can also include it in your mood board. We have some colors, some challenges, some different things that you can use to spark yourself and get yourself moving on this creative lettering this month. So for this page, I decided I would use some ink. The left side of the page is a box. It was cinnamon candy that I just opened. I use these sometimes to make little journals because I just like making journals, not necessarily finishing them, just making them. And I like to use these candy boxes. I get them from the $1 store, and you can get, whatever, jujubes or different stuff. And I like these cinnamon ones, and so that's what that side is. So it's kind of like a light cardboard. The right-hand side of the page is some couple pieces of junky paper from my desk that have been glued together. So for some of the pages, I glued a couple pieces together in an attempt because, I am a mixed media collage artist. I like to get a lot of wet media on stuff, whether I'm collaging with matte medium or whether I'm painting stuff or spraying. All those wet media is pretty hard on paper. So if you really want your journals to turn out great, you probably shouldn't use junk. But if you think that you would like to just have something that, you can just play in it and it doesn't matter, like it really doesn't matter. This is not going to be, something that is displayed or whatever. You're working on your art skills by playing and experimenting and having fun in this thing that's just made out of something that would have been thrown away anyway. So it doesn't matter, and it takes away that preciousness and worry about ruining it, because if you ruin it, it just doesn't matter, right? It just doesn't matter. It's junk. I cleaned off my desk and I folded the papers and sewed them into a book. So I recommend this type of journaling if you're stressing about, oh, that perfect pristine page in my journal, I can't wreck it. This journal is all about wrecking it. Wreck it, please. So I decided to throw a little gesso on there. Then I did my background with kind of an ombre effect by using some Distress Oxide ink. Now that's a weird ink. It's a hybrid ink that has a dye and a pigment in it, and also it reacts to water in an interesting way. It does something called oxidizing, and so you can splash some water on it and get kind of almost a little bit of a messy effect. So I did my ombre background, splattered some water on it to get those little splashes and splashes because I was thinking about that thing that everyone says, April showers bring May flowers. So I was thinking about water and wet and rain, and it's been doing that here in Arizona for a couple days. It was splattering and raining and getting everything wet and making puddles. And we, of course, also are starting our bloom, which is, that all the cactuses are blooming because it's spring. That was what I was thinking. April, this is the first thing I've made in April, and it's spring, and I was thinking about that. So I stamped the word April with some rubber stamps. Now, this is a way that you could add creative lettering to your page by stamping it. And you can even stamp it and then alter it. I started out with Twisted Citron because I wanted to throw a little bit of that fun bright green in there with this dismal background because, of course, when it rains, then things bloom or things grow, and we have tons of weeds and grasses, and my dog Mika likes to go out there and she likes to find the grasses and eat them. She likes to, I don't know what it is about dogs and grass, but she wants to eat the grass. So I try to limit her from doing that too much, but I let her do it a little bit. And those little sprouts and sprigs and things are this bright, bright green. So I started with the Twisted Citron color, and that didn't work because it's mostly yellow, and predominantly yellow is a translucent color, even in the Distress Oxide, which is a pretty opaque ink. As you can see, it covered up that stuff that was on the background. I mean, I did put a layer of gesso, but still you could see writing and color, and it covered that all up in the background. So then when I decided I'd go over it with some titanium white acrylic paint, and that gave me kind of a tinted paint, but the word shows up a lot better than with just the Twisted Citron. And then I was looking in my box of magazine snippets and different things, and I was flipping through trying to find, I was going to put a lady with an umbrella, and I found this illustration, and she's taking a shower, right? Or she looks like she's at a spa, she's had a shower, she's got a towel wrapped around her head and her body, and I thought, funny play on words. April showers, shower, you get it? Get it? So I decided to put this weird little illustration on there. I don't know. I know that Peg sent it to me. I don't know exactly where it came from, so I don't know what the provenance of this illustration is, but somebody drew it. It wasn't me. And I just cut it out, pasted it down, and then she had a little sign in her hand that said Beauty Queen for a Day, I think, or something like that. I cut that off and turned that into the umbrella. Um, I left the handle, most of the handle, and turned that into an umbrella by putting a piece of, I think it's actually wrapping paper, but it's very old and fragile. But I was going with the pink. And then in her other hand, she had this piece of jewelry, and I didn't think that really fit the scene either. So I drew a little margarita glass because if you're going to take your shower outside in the garden, you better have a margarita, right? I mean, why not? And also, because margaritas are made out of limes, they are also that Twisted Citron color, that bright, bright green. So that brings that color into the right-hand side of the page. And then I kind of am painting it on to some of the flowers, which I stamped with acrylic paint. Remember, if you're going to stamp with acrylic paint, make sure that you clean that acrylic paint off your stamp when you're done right away. Don't let it dry on there because the rubber and the plasticky stuff in acrylic paint wants to stick together, and it'll kind of mess up your stamp and make it not stamp as cleanly. So just get that wet paint off there before you put it aside. So then I painted some of that bright green color on the bottoms of the letters, and I put some of the pink color on the top to kind of make an ombre effect on the letters. So you can do whatever you want with the letters after you've stamped them. I traced around them, colored them, put some polka dots on them. You know, be creative with your lettering. Alter it. It doesn't just have to be stamped on there. Make it even more fun. Added some white splatter. Added some different stuff. I wrote the word showers with black Posca pen, and so that you get April showers. April showers. I think it's cute. It's not the best page I've ever done. It's not the most amazing thing, but it's cute and it brings across what I was trying to say. I did use the bright pink Posca pen. At first I thought it was too bright, and then I decided that I could use that just to kind of pump up the color a little bit on those flowers, because the woody was a light pink. And I also added some more splatter. So that's pretty much it for this. If you liked it, please remember to give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment or question below, subscribe to my channel, and then join the membership if you want to. Here's your close-ups. That's it for me. Thanks. Bye-bye.